That hurts my heart. That hurts my heart.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Welcome into another edition of Road Trippin'. I'm Allie Clifton, Channing Frye, Richard Jefferson. 3 weeks in a row. Woo! Happy about it. We're actually coming at you a little early this week because we have some prior commitments towards the end of the week, and there's actually just a lot to talk
What commitments do we have?
I'm going to the beach.
Oh, this dude. This dude.
I wasn't going to throw you out there like that.
I was like, wait,
Stage
we have
one,
commitments?
Stage one. Let me out the house.
Wait, Channing, you don't have a bunch of whiskey bottles?
No, don't. God, it hurts my heart.
Why?
That you're doing that to that wine fridge. Poor wine fridge. Disgusting.
First of all, it's just for the aesthetic. It's not an actual wine fridge. That's why whiskey goes better in there. And two,
Does it?
I don't drink that much.
Not the
What?
temperature gauges? Like, do you not put it?
No. It's just room temperature.
I like that you just have a wine fridge in your home just for aesthetics. Thanks.
Well, because it was a closet.
No,
it was a closet before, and that shit's expensive to like refrigerate it and like seal it and all. That shit's expensive, dude.
We're gonna actually take a moment to get into all of this. I see it on Channing's face, and he can't wait. But before we do that, obviously on this episode we're gonna dive into all things NBA related because there's a lot still going on. We're going to introduce a fun, interactive way to engage with our fans, our audience. At the end of this episode, we're going to get to some questions that you guys submitted last week using the hashtag #RoadTrippingAnythingGoes. So stay tuned. It's going to be a fun game. We'll see if these two can handle it. Probably
not.
But first, before we do all of that, can we just kind of wrap up last week and how great Kendrick Perkins was? And shout out to him again. He was wonderful.
Perklerk.
He is what I would call the salt of the earth. He's a genuinely nice guy. I absolutely hated his ass when we played against him. But the way that everyone talked about them when they were teammates, I get it. I got it. Dude, good for him for coming out of high school as a big man with no hops, right?
No hops.
No hops. He was like, listen, I play defense, I rebound, and I'm going to give you a right-hand hook. But I'm that much better than everybody else. And he did it, man. He did it.
He used to have a little bit of hops. He used to have a little bit of hops. A little bit.
Before he started eating 2 lobster tail tiger.
I definitely need to see that. I have to now find this place when I go to Houston purely based off of Perk.
Oh,
right. Perk should get like a percentage of their dollars if they say, yo, give me the Perky Lurky special.
People on social media wanted to know where that place was.
Really?
Yeah.
The thing that he's really good at is
he was getting one for lunch and one for dinner and was going
an elephant ear and a funnel cake in between.
Ooh, I do love those.
But
that hurts my stomach just hearing that.
Does really well. It's a lot like you guys. He likes to keep it real both on and off the court. So to that point, I loved all of that kind of chatter and talk. I will say I've already had a moment this week, and it's only Tuesday where I've had to jump into my pants. Shout out Perk for keeping things real there. But I posted that and wanted to.
You really think you need to jump into your pants?
I did, and I wasn't going to get into it, but shout out to Soho Yoga. That's why, because they just opened up this week. I finished a class.
Get it,
quick.
Bitches.
And have you ever tried to put on some yoga pants on top of a sweaty body?
Oh, Channing does that every other day.
It's
what is it, Wednesday? Yes.
Yes.
I have sweaty butt when I wake up. I have to get Botox.
I got Botox.
You're Botoxing your ass?
Do you not see? Look, bow, no lines. Toe that back up.
Wait, you really do have Botox in your forehead?
No! Oh my God, I'm joking. Ellie, I'm black. I could be 70 at this point. You wouldn't know the difference.
Okay, we're moving on.
So I just got a thing that just said, okay, wait a second. I just got a thing that said Bleacher Report. I literally, this is not a lie. I'm on my computer, and I get a thing that says, they said that Kyrie they said players were talking about starting their own league. Hold on, let me see.
No, I got the same one.
Oh my God.
You just got the same pop-up?
Wow. What it really looks like when you find out information.
I'm stealing.
Okay.
My internet is.
Never mind. You know what? That's just clickbait. There's only
Is
two
it?
paragraphs, and they were just like, it's just him saying he wants to start their own league. That the NBA, that they should skip the restart at Disney World. Blah 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 blah. It's not even dude. Don't even give that no look. It's so stupid. Clickbait.
Okay, well that just tells you right there. I'm a little off my rocker right now. Okay, so before we get into the NBA then, let me get back to what I really wanted to discuss. I brought up the whole Perkins thing. One, yes, to say thank you again, give him a shout out. But also, it just reminded me that we are doing these podcasts and we're working on a show together.
Are you about to surprise us with somebody?
No, that was last week. No, I'm not surprising you. But even better, I think, I just want to know how you guys are doing yourselves. Channing said today that he was going to come into this episode hot.
I'm coming in here hot. Here's what. Hot in a good way.
Tell me why you're hot. Tell me why you're mad, Channing.
No, I'm not mad at all. I'm actually like, this one of the best days ever. It's actually, so today I got to taste my next year's wine, right, at the beginning of how it is. So 2019 chosen wine, their Pinot, and then I got to pick 2019's, will actually be 2018 chosen wines Chardonnay. So I've been wine tasting since like 11. So
whoa.
No, but I mean, like, okay, when people say, oh, you get to choose your wine, that's easy, like, it's all good. It's hard as shit. Like, we had to choose from, I think, 8 to 10 different barrels. What is it going to taste like in 6 months? What's it going to taste like in a year? What do I think people want to drink? What do I like? Is it too peppery? Is it too citrusy? There's like so much stuff that I don't even like, you would never think, but obviously you're sitting there drinking it and you're like dissecting something that's so, you're like, I would buy a bottle of this or I'd buy a bottle of this, but you got to like kind of grind it out. And it's pretty freaking awesome. And my beer comes out this Friday.
What beer you got coming out, dude?
The Fried Pea, yay, second year. What you mean? Richard, don't be jelly. Your boy is doing things. Anyway,
I'm not. I actually enjoy it because I'm gonna use it like I did earlier. So I had a movie, Sprinter. Go watch on Netflix. Everybody go check it out. And I texted Channing and Kevin, and I texted Channing and I was like, hey guys, like, look, check out the movie. Go blah blah blah. And Channing's like, dude, I'm not posting about your movie. I was like, Channing, I posted about your shitty beer for an entire summer. And he goes, you're right, you did. Okay, I'll post about your movie. So I look forward to drinking Channing's beer all summer. I look forward.
First of all, my beer is
posting
delicious.
about his beer. It is good.
Delicious.
I look forward to posting about it all summer so that the next time I call in that favor to be like, listen, bitch.
Damn it. Damn.
See, if you get a chance to post about your friend's stuff, you got to. Because there's going to be a day. There's going to be a day where you need to call them to post about theirs. And it's like, I'm telling Channing in advance, I'm posting about your beer because I'm going to call in and say you got to post about whatever random shit I'm doing here.
Channing, how does it make you feel that, yeah, he posts about it, but yet he's still going to keep it real with how he actually feels about it?
I'll be honest, my beer sold out in 3 days. So
it did. I'm not knocking. Look, I drank fried PA for a long fucking time.
Listen,
You
I know.
did.
It's crazy. Yeah. I appreciate Richard's honesty. I get it. It's not for everybody, but it is delicious. When I made it.
What the fuck is this?
A year old. Okay, I don't know. No disclaimer. I don't know about beer. Is it cold?
That's fried PA.
Is it cold?
It's cold. Yeah, it's cold. Ooh.
To his point there, there's no way that still tastes good.
Well,
it might taste
might
good.
as well find out.
Oh, we got a snap to it. Look,
got a little snap to it. Yep, still tastes like ass and burnt hair.
There we go. Exactly. If it does not taste like an elephant's I was gonna say something. Okay, an elephant
Yeah.
fart. I was gonna say an elephant
Yeah.
queef.
If it doesn't taste like an old lady fart going through an onion,
If it
Channing,
does
being
not
captured.
like a sprinter's bunion, then then that's not what I was going for.
Oh my God! If
If
it
it does
doesn't
not taste like your socks were made of onions and broccoli, and you go on ultra marathons
with
that's
a
not what I'm
hint of ear hair.
Yeah.
With, an, with a
Yeah.
hint
I
of
think I just
ear
threw up
hair.
in my mouth. You guys are disgusting. I really think that this episode needs to.
Yeah, this is the last one. No BS. It's in the back of the and I was like, I've literally had them back there obviously forever, but I go through it. There was one more. I was like, let me see if there's one more of the bitches. Yeah, there is. There is one. That's the last one though.
That's all that matters. Wait till
Oh
you
yeah.
get
See
to
this?
the wine.
See, I'm talking about it and showing it on the podcast, which means that he's going to have
We got
to
a
do
new
double the
label
work.
this year, so
Yeah, give me some new shit.
Channing, maybe Fry PA should be our sponsor, or maybe.
Wait, no BS, Channing. I was working with a guy from Quibi, and when we were talking, we're chopping it up, and he was, yeah.
is that
Anyways,
from Harry Potter?
yes,
Quidditch.
not
Nobody
Quidditch.
gets the snitch?
Channing, Quibi is a multi-billion-dollar company. Let's be nice to them. No, but they were talking about how much they like. He was an Ohio guy. He was talking about how much he liked your Fry PA. He was like, "When is it coming out again?" And I was like, "Oh, geez, don't tell him that shit."
Tell him to DM me. I'll send it to his house right now.
Well, he listens. He knows who this is.
To that individual.
Or he knows who he is. So Channing's got a new
what did he
5PA
do?
coming.
Wait,
Channing,
Richard.
Friday.
What, man?
Friday.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out Friday, unless something happens. You know, listen, COVID is changing
Are
everything.
you sending me some Fry PA?
It's
You know I'm
already
not
in the
buying
mail.
that shit.
It's already in the mail. Don't worry, your little bald ass head, boy.
All
Listen,
right. So Channing has a beer coming out this Friday, Fry PA.
and my wine comes out in September.
And it's a Pinot.
It's a Pinot Noir. There's only 85 cases, so we're going
Only?
to put out in the next month or so.
85 cases.
Equals almost only 1,000 bottles. This year we wanted to go really small.
Okay, watch this shit. We're going to slap some commercials for that shit in front of this, and on the back of this, and in the middle of that.
Did you just take a shot?
Well, you know, that fried PA.
Tuesday.
I think it might have aged. It might have fermented a little bit longer.
As it should. My beer is like my wine. Like it's better when it.
You have to pour it and let it breathe.
Yeah, just let my beer breathe. All right, sorry, Allie. Allie is.
No, you guys are great. I'm
no,
trying to figure out if
so-
I liked you guys better last week when you weren't talking to each other. I'm trying to figure that out.
No, with Pert? Yeah, no, because we were talking to Pert. Yeah, watch this. Chang, are you ready to do are you ready to do a voiceover for an ad for your beer?
Wine.
Allie, do it. That's wine.
For my wine?
Oh, we have an NBA production meeting. Is that today?
Oh.
All right, there's a lot going on. Speaking of NBA,
Here
let's
we go.
get into it.
Reel us back. Reel us back.
Let's dive into it. I think I want to start at the top. We have talked about it the last 2 weeks, just in general, what's going on in our country with the systemic racism, racial injustice, and that aspect, also with COVID-19 and as it applies to the NBA. But things have gotten a little heated as of late. And so I want to just present the question to the both of you because I don't think you guys have really had a chance on here at least to touch on your stance with what is going on lately. So obviously, as many are aware, but those who are maybe trying to get caught up, there are players within the NBA who feel like returning to play is not appropriate, would be a distraction at this time to what is going on in the world and on a much bigger scale. And then there are others who feel like returning to play would be the right path and the route to take. And so I think let's just start there. Channing, I want to start with you. Just your stance and how you feel about what's being discussed.
Here's my stance. The NBA players will never have a bigger stage to show their thoughts and emotions and feelings ever in the history of the NBA. Never in the history of sports has only one sport been so readily available than it will be in Orlando. It is uncomfortable to play now. It is, it doesn't seem like the right time. Obviously it doesn't. It's in July. You'd be done, right? Everything is not convenient right now. But as a player, if you're the only sport playing and being on TV, your platform is bigger than the NBA Finals. Every game is bigger than the NBA Finals because you guys are it. We are watching nothing but you. If you kneel for every national anthem, if you speak out, if you don't talk about the game, if you only talk about things that are happening in our country and your ideals of what you want our country to look like afterwards, that is the time to do it. If you do not play guys that are, listen, if you're not in a starting lineup, if you're not even one of the superstars, who's listening to you, right? Who's listening to you? If you are 1 through 15 and you have this opportunity in this space and this platform, your voice is bigger than 99.9% of America's. Please use it. Don't give up this opportunity. Don't give up everything that you've worked for to earn this type of money, to provide your family and your communities with this type of not only leadership, but growth and something to look forward to. And I know that Charles said out of sight, out of mind. Now, I don't completely agree with that, but I get what he's trying to say. Charles said out of sight, out of mind because, listen, think about a guy like, I'm just going to name somebody. I know Anthony Tolliver, who's been on team to team to team. Now, if Anthony Tolliver's standing up for his beliefs, his voice is 1,000% bigger than anybody else's that we would ever see. So use it. Please use it. Do not think, it's just basketball. It's at this point, it is not just basketball. It's COVID. It's the injustices. It's Black Lives Matter. It is for everybody that is going through a struggle. You are their inspiration. You are their beacon of light. You are the person that they should look up and say, hey, when they had an opportunity, they did their job, they took care of it, and they were pros. That is okay. I've had this conversation a couple of times, so I kind of get riled up.
No, that's a good, dude. It's well said. I had been I've been quiet on this topic because it's like there's the COVID thing, that's one, right? And Stephen A said it. He was like, look, if players don't want to play because of COVID and safety and this, conversation over. Conversation's over. Done. Like, okay, none of us, we respect it. We understand. You guys don't like, fine. But then he found that the issue with not playing, now that's Stephen A. The reason why I've been quiet is because it is, as much as I have my opinion and as much as I know who I am and what I stand for and what I believe in, I also understand this right now. They're not asking me to go quarantine or at a resort, for 6 weeks, for 2 months, for whatever it is. They're not asking me to do that. And I work for ESPN. So it's like ESPN is a company that benefits if everyone goes back to work because then they get to play. So there's like, I'm not a player and I work for ESPN. So even if I send out a message because I believe it's all of a sudden muddled in, well, you work for ESPN, of course you want them to go back to play. And I'm just like, no, this is just how I feel. So I think, I default to what Kyle Korver, and I had the fortunate opportunity to interview him today. And for anybody like the Eagle, Kyle Korver is a legend. He is like one of those guys that's like so like awkwardly perfect.
Salt of the earth.
Salt of the earth. And he's got he had 3 brothers, and I think one of them passed, correct?
Oh, yeah.
And one of them passed. And this is why I say this. Kyle Korver talked about white privilege years ago. He wrote an article for the Players Tribune years ago about the Black Lives Matter movement, about why him as a white man has to be one of the people that are taking the lead. So he says this, and he wrote this article, and it was like, well, because everyone knows who Kyle Korver is. Fast forward to today, and all of this shit's going down, and Kyle Korver is a guy that has a chance to win a championship. He's on the Milwaukee Bucks. He's played for 17 years. He is one of the most respected vets that you'll ever come across in the league. Kyle Korver can play as long as he wants, as long as his body holds up. And he's like, you know what? I just default. He goes, whatever my brothers and sisters or whatever my black brothers and teammates want to do, I'll do that. If they believe that not playing is the right way, then hey, then we're gonna not play. If they believe that coming together and uses our voices in Orlando is to combat, if we come together and the NBA and them have a plan and for us to come together to combat change, he goes, then I'm gonna do that. And so like that's the way I felt, and he articulated it so well, because I'm like, look, I understand what they're going through. I understand what they're fighting for. I see both sides of the coin. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to support you brothers in any way that I can. If you decide to not play, you will never hear a negative word out of my mouth about it. You will not. If you guys collectively come together. If you guys collectively decide to go there, I will sit here and collectively applaud you for coming together and doing what you're doing. Just like if you guys were in united and decided to not play, I will applaud you. Whatever you do as a group and however you want to unify your moment and how you want to unify each other to go and combat change, I'm going to applaud either way as long as it's done in unison. And so it's like, I'm not saying I have an opinion. I just don't think that my opinion really fits in here. And so, I'm going to do the same thing. And Kyle even said, this is why Kyle is so, he's like, look, as a white male and as a white athlete, he goes, if there is a vote, he goes, I probably wouldn't even vote. And I thought that would, like, of all the interviews, of all the things I've heard, and I've been doing stuff every single day, that might be the most powerful words that I've heard anybody say. Is that he wouldn't vote, because he's like, if I vote for, right, to go to sit out, or if I vote for playing, it's like, yo, this is not about me. I can take a step back and say, I want to win a championship. I'm 17 years in, but I want to be there for your cause, whatever that means. That's powerful to me, to say he wouldn't vote and would allow the people whose lives are being affected and how they want to address the change, he'll fall in line there. And that to me is why Kyle Korver is one of the all-times in my book.
I applaud you both, commend you both for giving your thoughts right there. I did not mean to interrupt you, Richard, but it did spark something in my mind. I have two directions I want to go with this. First, for Kyle Korver, I had a chance to listen to your live today. And, it's so ironic because Kyrie was a guy who obviously we all know very well, worked alongside for a few years, spent a lot of time on this platform, this exact platform, the Road Trippin podcast, on several occasions, and spoke, gave perspective, dove into a variety of topics that opened our eyes to understanding him, the way he thought, the way he operated on a multitude of levels, not just as a basketball player. But one thing I always remembered from Kyrie that kind of summarized what Kyle stands for, and a lot of what he was saying with you and what he's always been consistent saying. Kyrie always said that he wanted to be known for more than just a basketball player. Right now, that is where, as athletes, as celebrities, whoever it may be, but speaking about the NBA player, speaking of Kyrie, this is your time to put your foot where your mouth is, to be more than an athlete, right? Be more than just a basketball player. For Kyle Korver, who he's always been and stood for, it's one of my favorite quotes, and I try to kind of live it out on a daily basis. But the best leaders out there are the ones that are not just leaders, but they're the leaders that are willing to be led. And that is what Kyle Korver is doing right now. It's what a lot of white America, it's what a lot of, whether you're a white athlete, whether you're just a white individual, man, woman, whatever it may be, we are sitting here and preaching and saying that we want to listen and we want to learn and we want to educate. And that's where Kyle Korver has continued to be uncomfortable and step out. And to your point, you posted that on your Instagram today, and I saw so many people not a fan of what Kyle Korver said. It's not easy, but from that standpoint, it's who he is. It's who he's always been. He's consistent.
Yeah. That's the one thing I like about him, is that, there are a lot of people that have jumped up in the last couple of weeks, but that's just great. It's great that they're willing to listen. It's great that they're ready to join the movement. And it's like, you know, when somebody finds, like, when there's a new musician and somebody's like, oh, this person's awesome. You're like, man, I've been, you know, listening to them for years. And you're mad that Kyle Korver has been a part of this movement since the beginning. Since the beginning, he has recognized, he's acknowledged, he's respected, he's understood the movement since the beginning. And so when he speaks now and then speaks so eloquently on it and says the right things, it's not orchestrated.
Whether it's popular or not.
Whether they're popular or not, he's just saying that because he's been listening for years.
Mm-hmm.
He's been listening, he's been paying attention, and he was like, you know what? Whatever they want to do, I stand with them. Why does he believe that? Because he's listened to his teammates. He's listened. He talked about during when the Trayvon Martin situation happened, and he just saw his teammates. He said, he's like, I saw my own teammates. I saw my brothers, just all of them so crushed, so devastated, because this could be their kid. This could be them. This easily could have been one of their brothers, one of their sisters, one of their children that are the same age, that look the same way. And that's why it was like, they were so fearful and so upset. And he took a moment to listen, and he understood how things needed to change. And like, not everybody is taking that perspective. Not everybody is. And he was like, yo, at the end of the day, like, I'm in a locker room where I'm in Atlanta, where I was the only white guy on the team. And I saw these people being devastated by this moment. He's like, how could you not open your eyes and listen and understand, you know, because he's immersed in the culture, right? So he's firsthand. And so he didn't see anger and rage. He saw frustration, and he saw sadness, and he saw that, that could have easily been one of our family members. And so for him to be so on point at this point in time in the movement lets me know that if people do care, if they want to be educated, if they want to learn more about it, then there's ways to do it. And even Kyle said, he was like, as much as he's been involved in it, he also said, I still have so much more to learn. He's like, I just know just enough to really care about it. So shout out to you, Kyle, fan of the pod, you know, big friend of the pod.
I know Channing might disagree, but though he is and will go down as one of the greatest shooters in NBA history, I know you feel like you are. You will also know and remember Kyle for this and his act.
Kyle Korver, anytime anybody asks who my favorite teammate is, it is 100% him. Fact.
I mean, I like Kyle. He was my playmate. He was low-key. When I brought Pino.
That's why I said, I go. You said exit chain. Do you remember the funniest shit that Kyle said? And I talked about it on the thing. He was like, man, because everyone knows about how we all drink wine and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, I've seen guys like drinking wine after a game. He's like, I've never seen guys show up after a 12 o'clock practice for a 2:30 flight with bottles of wine to drink to go to the next city.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, the Cavs. The Cavs.
But like, that got me into wine, because I was like, dude, what am I going to bring to this plane to show these guys? Like,
I will get criticized. You will get criticized if you don't bring wine. You better bring wine like one every 3 trips, even if it's just 2 bottles.
Don't bring bullshit. So for me, I'm like,
is that Lauren back there?
Yeah, Lauren. What's up, girl?
Lauren, bring your ass in here. Lauren.
They can see you. Come here. You're on road tripping already.
Come here, Lauren.
Oh, she's the best.
Come on.
Yes.
Come here.
She said no.
Oh, no. You know who runs that house.
Yeah, she's like, hi.
Okay, real quick, guys, before we move on, I just actually have 2 other questions about this. You bring up the vote, which today, Richard, I thought to myself, wait, what do you mean, what vote? So I want to get your thoughts on that. But also, we talked about it last week with Kendrick Perkins. I posed the question to the both of you guys, the 3 of you, in regards to if you thought players would make a statement, whether that's vocally with action. I thought it was interesting. It came out today, Avery Bradley, who is alongside Kyrie Irving in this player coalition, and not wanting necessarily to resume basketball. Avery saying, regardless of how much media coverage will be received, talking and raising awareness about social injustice isn't enough. Protesting during an anthem, wearing T-shirts is great, but we need to see real actions.
And this is the thing. You can sit at these tables and respect everyone that's talking, respect everyone's point of view. And I'm not for, again, I can't reiterate, I'm not for them going back. I'm not for them staying home. I'm just curious. Okay, if I was sitting in front of Avery Bradley, so what type of action are you looking for? Because the NBA has always been at the forefront of player empowerment, listening to the players, being open to the things that are important to them. So it's just like, are you waiting for legislation, which is going to take months, weeks, years, legislation to pass? Even the president just passed a police reform, bill or something along those lines, where making a database if there's officers with a certain amount of infractions, if there's a making certain chokeholds illegal. So there's already been stuff starting to move and starting to happen. And so if they believe that that's happening because basketball is no longer being played or sports are not being played, I would like to believe this is part of a movement. But I just want to know, like, okay, so, you want to sit out the season and you want to allow, because all 450 NBA players aren't the ones that are sitting there at every protest. They're not everywhere. So it's like, what are they looking for in order to get back? And I think that's just a question that I think Adam Silver, that other players want to know. So if that's it, I respect it. And I look forward to hearing like what his plans are, or what they want to do. I really am supportive of it.
I'll say this, and this is a blunt truth. Avery Bradley, Dwight Howard, Kyrie wasn't even going to play. So we'll just count him out. I think, for me, here's really where the business, right, where your feet hit the pavement. You say you don't want to play. The Lakers say, okay, thank you. Appreciate your time. You don't get paid. Mm-hmm. You go ahead and do your thing. We're going to go play. They replace you. The Lakers win a championship. Was it worth it?
Yes. Yeah. I think for them, you can't question what is worth it. Like, okay, for me personally, Richard, I would never.
No, but I'm saying, Richard, are they creating new policies? Are they breaking stuff down? Are they creating new things to do? Like, what are they doing? And I think you're saying the same thing, but I'm saying to them, as a basketball player, as a black man in America, where is your platform?
Yeah. Well, no, look, that's what, Ali, you said that about Wilbon. Wilbon was like, hey, there's a reason why they focus, why, our communities always said black owned, because they understand that money is power, right? Money is power. Having money, like Channing, you've donated money. I've donated millions of dollars of my own money. Like we if you get money, you can donate money towards those causes. You can, and it's like, it'll be $1 billion of money out of the players' hands. Oh. And we're one of the few people in our demographic that can actually afford that.
Community, stop! What are you doing? Like,
donate every one of your dollars to whatever cause you want to donate to.
Come on, guys!
Speaking of that, you are sitting so awkward.
I know. I'm leaning up now because it's.
I'll get away from the light.
The sun's hot.
Because the light, like we said.
The sun is cooking my feet right now.
That's what we said in the beginning. You said I'm coming in hot. I was like, you talking about that sunlight that's gonna be hitting you? He's like, yeah. No.
You know who really came in hot the other night?
Who?
Still along the same topic, but I know one that you guys were a big fan of.
Big Bird.
Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah.
Dave Chappelle right in my feet.
That 8 minutes. That's.
But
he's like this. He looked at somebody. He's like, this shit isn't funny, is it? Yeah, it doesn't matter. But
he still found ways to make. I mean, didn't you have moments where you just busted?
Well, his voice. The minute I hear his voice, I'm waiting on the punchline. Oh. The minute I hear his voice, I'm always like, smiling, ready to laugh. Like that's just the minute you hear his voice. But I think what was cool about him is because he's been socially conscious for so long. He's made jokes about it. He's made, his TV show had a lot of the social aspects of America in them. So when he speaks on this, you just believe that, he understands, or he has a pulse of the community, and he has a perspective and a viewpoint that allows him, like every other artist, that allows him to kind of articulate what the culture, when he's like, he's like, I was daring Don Lemon to say my name. Nobody wants to hear from me right now. No one cares what your favorite. And that's one thing that made me think about the athletes. He was like, people want to hear from me right now. No one wants to. The streets are talking. The streets are doing enough talking right now. No one wants to hear what I have to think. And I was like,
but we all did.
We all did. And we tuned in.
I mean, he keeps it so real. And here's a awful thing about this. And I think it was going to come around regardless. But, I have 4 mixed children, right? And my 2 oldest are 9 and 8. And I've had to have a conversation with them and show them videos of what's happening in today's world, in today's climate, right? And so for me, as an adult, as a person, having a guy like Dave Chappelle re-educate and reaffirm and what I'm doing for my own family with his thoughts and his emotions, like for me as a dad, right, I have a little bit of anxiety when my kids go around bike riding, right? I live in a predominantly white neighborhood. Obviously, I live in Portland, Oregon. But yes, a lot of people are very woke and they think, Portland, oh, you guys are so hippie and everyone loves everyone, blah, blah, blah. But it just takes one person to feel a different way for them to act up when my kids riding around on a bike. So that type of fear is debilitating. And I don't feel like I deserve to live like that, right? I didn't earn the money that I did. I didn't make the sacrifices that I did so that my little children, who realistically, when they go to school, they don't see white and black. My kids do not at all. Because I said, how many black kids are in a class? I know how many. They go, maybe 1. There's 7.
They
7. Don't know.
See, that's but that's the issue with the education in math in Portland, right? They're not teaching these kids proper math.
Well, listen, look. I have a math disability, so I don't know how many.
You've always said that since day one.
It is an American.
I like to call it an inability. Don't say it's a math disability. It's a math inability.
Well, it's worse than Corona right now in America, and the math disability virus is awful. But I'm saying, when I listen to Dave Chappelle and his emotion and the rawness of that, it hits me in my feels, because I feel the same way, because I feel like no matter how much, and so many people have said this, no matter how much money I think I have, there is no fear like having a police car behind you. There's absolutely no fear as a man. I'm a 7-foot man. Now, I haven't been in many fights in my life, but I'll whoop a fool's face, right? But there is no fear like having a police car behind you. And that is just the honest truth. And I'm from the burbs. So obviously people go, oh, well, you're from the burb. It might be even worse because they think I'm out of place. So the fact that Dave Chappelle talks about this it
was amazing.
Amazing.
I just loved his take about how until that moment, he didn't need to say anything, as you quoted, Richard, because the streets are doing the talking. And sometimes they say silence is the loudest. And it kind of just it just opened your eyes. I think when I heard him say that, and then just the most recent video that I watched that is just so heartbreaking, the black child shooting hoops out in his driveway. I'm sure you guys have seen it. And all alone, just living life. And he hides behind a car because of a cop car that's driving up the road. So I'm sure we are going to continue to talk about this weekly, obviously, until the NBA finds its path and its course. But again, thanks to the both of you for weighing in on those topics. I want to get to the end. Appreciate your time. I want to get to the final segment of this episode, which I think will be really fun. It kind of gets us back to who we are. We will see. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry.
I said, is that final episode? Has Allie worn that outfit before?
If anyone can tell me when and where they saw me wearing this outfit, I will send them $100.
Oh,
And
my
then Channing will send you 1,000 on top of that. So
Oh yeah, get it.
Corona got me hurt, girl. Listen.
stop it. So we will see how good you are, Channing, with your math. We introduced this last week, and we didn't get to it because we had a surprise guest with Kendrick Perkins. It right now is hashtag road trippin', anything goes. So for you, the fans that sent us in questions via Twitter, which is at Road Trippin' Pod, or Instagram, which is at Road Trippin', we have selected 5 out of quite the list of some questions. We are going to put these 2 up against one another. They both played basketball at the University of Arizona, apparently. And they say that they didn't have a shot clock during their time because they were just so good they didn't need one.
That's fact. I don't think I ever heard a shot clock buzzer. On offense for us, like with Gilbert on the team, look, I never heard in 3 years. I had Jason Terry as my point guard one time. And then I had Gilbert, the year Jason Terry left, Gilbert Arenas became my shooting guard. I never heard a shot clock off. And that shit touched his hands, it was going up.
Nobody cares.
Never touch your hands twice in one possession.
Nobody cares about Gilbert Arenas. Just kidding. Whenever you want to come on again, Gil.
You
are always welcome.
No.
As said, hashtag road trippin', anything goes. 5 questions. Here's the gist. 30-second shot clock, 35-second shot clock.
Let's go 30.
20. We need 30. Let's go 28. Arizona shot clock.
You guys want to do that instead? 28 seconds?
Yeah, 28 seconds.
All right, we're going 28 seconds. Channing goes first. I'm going to give you a question, and you have to respond in that fashion. There will be a buzzer. Richard, okay, you don't start until I tell you to go. Are we ready? First question. Do not start the clock yet. It comes from Dante.
Who's got the clock?
Jordan.
Of God. Dante Zambataro. You guys have to forgive me for this. On Instagram if I butcher your name. Question number 1. Illegal Pete's or Frog and Firkin? Go.
Frog and Firkin all day. Best waitresses. It's in Tucson. The Frog and Firkin fries are good. The pizza's a little thick. I love the chicken apple sandwich. The beers are always cold. Best eye candy you'll ever see in your entire life. Boom. How many seconds was that?
Apparently you have some time left, so we'll restart the clock. Richard, Illegal Pete's or Frog and Firkin?
So I had a roommate that worked there, Alex Carlson. He actually played basketball at Princeton with Luke's older brother. Then he moved to Arizona. His imitation of the sorority girls that would be there during family weekend was one of the funniest things you would ever hear. He would come home just devastated because you would have these individuals, and it was family weekend, so mom and dad were willing to get, and it was like, can I get the Lady Di? And if you guys know Frog and Firkin, it's Lady Di. It's got apple slices on it. It's great. The Lady Di. Can I get the Lady Di? He's like, whatever you want, honey. It is your weekend. This weekend is about you. Whatever it is that you want, I don't care. Get 2 of them. Take one home to your roommate. And he would just sit there and he would just tell us story after story of how he wanted to just explode his head off of like the conversations that were had. And for me, it's because Frog and Firkin is just that place. So they were going to get everything that they wanted. So I'm going to say Frog and Firkin.
Okay, apparently the buzzer is not going off because the voice of God just said, can he? There you go. Did you guys hear it?
I thought I had extra time because Channing didn't use all of his time.
No, let's see if the horn.
No, we didn't hear no. I didn't hear no bell.
All right, what's next, Allie?
There. Maybe it's because you're talking too loud. Did you guys hear it?
No, barely can hear it still. We can still barely hear it, Jordan. You're trying to put it from your computer to your phone. That's a big mistake. But keep going, Allie.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to do it then. All right. Number 2, Channing. This is from Austin Westenberger on IG.
Austin Westenberger.
Your favorite NBA city to travel to and your favorite restaurant in said NBA city. Go.
New York. What is that Italian place we went to, Richard?
Olive Garden.
Carmine. Carmine's in New York.
Carmine.
Is my favorite. Best wine menu. Great ambiance.
That's where you were crying. You were so drunk, you were crying, laughing in the restaurant.
Shit was funny.
Wow.
This shit was funny.
Man, you're really good. You're very efficient. There's.
That is so lame. Turn that off. You see Harlem Nights where he's like, quit shooting that little ass gun. Stop shooting that little ass gun. There we go. There we go. There we go. Thank you.
All right, leave it to us. Takes us a few rounds. All right, number 3, Selena Jaramillo on Instagram. Channing, have fun with this one. Why didn't Richard go back to Arizona to coach at the U of A? Go.
I think Richard would be a horrible coach, number one.
Fact.
And number 2, I think Richard is better at just giving his opinion, free from other people's criticism.
Fact.
Having to actually develop 18-year-old kids who have more followers on Instagram than he does.
That's all of these things are fact.
All right, you got 28 seconds. You got 28 seconds to tell Selena why you didn't go back and play or coach.
Because they hired Jay. Can I start now?
Yep.
Oh, because they hired Jason Terry.
What a dick! What a dick!
Did they?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Yeah, they hired Jason Terry. Jason Terry is now on the staff at Arizona. I tried to quit all of this shit, all Channing, you, everything. I tried to quit all ESPN, everything. I tried to quit all of this stuff. Yes, that's how sad it was. And they told me no, they wanted Jason Terry. So I'm still here. It's quite devastating.
Why I saw his picture floating around.
Yeah.
All right, number 4, Channing, back to you. Luis Martinez wants to know, what teams will benefit most from the bubble playoffs, and will the length of the time being there affect any player's game? Go.
The teams that
That was kind of funny.
Good time. Okay, the team that's going to be benefited the most are teams with the best chemistry, and the teams that are going to be affected the most are the teams where their stars are not usually in great shape. So, I'm not going to name certain names, but there are certain guys that have not been in the best of shape, and those guys will be the worst to play against. And teams like Denver, who do not get an advantage based on the altitude at home, are going to have a tough time being on the same page.
Jordan is having way too much fun over there. I know it. I can see his brophy ass smiling.
All right, Richard, you need the question again from Luis Martinez. Which teams will benefit the most from the bubble playoffs, and will the length of time being there affect any players? Go.
Yes, the length of time will affect players. We've already seen what isolation does to people, but at least you're with your family, you're with your friends. If you talk about a long-term isolation now, again, especially because things are starting to open up, so now you're going to thrust people back into isolation. I don't know. I said Boston. I like Boston just because they have younger players that typically are in better shape, and they have a lot of versatile players. Boston and Milwaukee, I feel like, are the two best in the Eastern Conference, and then Lakers got a lot of older players: Dwight, Rondo, Braun.
That was actually really close. Really well done. All right, last question. You're gonna have to go back in your memory bank. Channing, real name, no gimmicks. Carson Merck wants to know, Cavs who were good on the VersaClimber, you guys used to talk about it all the time. Who were some of the worst?
Oh,
I know the story.
Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
No, let me sit up for this. Dante Jones, we used to have conditioning, right? He is the most in shape human being, right, I've ever seen in my life. He could run for miles, jump, lift, all that. When it came to the VersaClimber, he was like a little baby. Yo, we in conditioning, right? And I'm exhausted. I look over and see him get off the VersaClimber. He sits on the chair and he like can't even see, right? His eyes don't blink. He's like, yo, I said, that boy saw the devil.
Okay, so we don't need you to follow me up, but this is what I say, people. Let me give you this.
Poor Dante.
Start my clock. Start my clock, Jordan.
Ready?
The
Go.
reason why Dante was dying is because for people half to remember, he joined our team like the last day of the regular season. So he was in good shape, but he wasn't in like elite NBA playoff shape, like as everybody else was, because he had a little bit of a layoff after the G League. So this individual in between, after not really doing anything, he then got on the Versa Climber, and we were doing 4 quarters plus an overtime, and he was trying to keep up with everyone, even though he wasn't in great shape, and that was a recipe for disaster.
Oh,
Disaster. I felt bad for him. Honestly, I applauded him because I would have never been able to make it through what he did. If I would have came off a month layoff or some shit like that, no way.
dude.
No way.
Still, to me,
Oh,
I was like,
I would be honest. I would have thought it was you, Channing. That was the worst of the room.
no. Channing's actually good. Channing's actually good at working out. Like he gets into the I'm an aerobics instructor working out and shit. But,
yeah. You see this shirt, it's like a medium and a half.
Yeah.
Oh,
Guys, I gotta go. I love you guys.
That was fun. It's another edition. Channing, enjoy the beach this weekend.
Oh, I fucking will.
Bye.